not be allowed to walk out of the DC court and go to Wilmington myself, that I was a flight risk and all this stuff. Delaware did eventually pick me up. They had no choice because they were put under so much political pressure at the time. But I was picked up, driven to Wilmington, went before a judge on the camera within 5 minutes, was immediately released on my own recognizance. Yes, they cost me about $30,000 in legal fees and travel fees going back and forth.
You had to keep yourself out of jail for the rest of your life. It's important.
Well, the funny thing is I never even really went into a courtroom except once. And then because I hadn't pled out, interestingly enough, my trial date set for none other than September 11th.
I bet Steve could put on a good exhibition as this guy can if he really wanted to. You know that. Oh, don't you say that stuff?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I heard listen to him talking. I just had to say something about that. Because you are good at it, ain't no doubt about it.
I love doing impressions, I guess you would call it.
Oh, it's a good one. It might be a little, how does Fred Sanford say it? It's a little wave your other hand.
A little flimsy on the flimsy side.
Exactly. Just a little.
11th of 2008.
Oh, no kidding. Well, let me connect the dots for the audience if they're not picking it up, because Beau Biden obviously would be in the bag for his father, Joe Biden, who ends up being the vice president of the United States under Barack Obama. Your allegations are against Barack Obama. Mind you, the reason this is pertinent, and people keep tweeting at me saying, why does this matter? Who cares if he's gay? I could care less if he's gay, obviously. The issue is that then Barack Obama puts Joe Biden as the point man in Ukraine. His son is then sitting on the board of Burisma. They're raking in millions of dollars. There's corruption galore. And then you have the invasion of Russia into Ukraine predicated off of much of the corruption that the Obama and Biden administration were responsible for. All of this matters.
And the Maidan Revolution happened under the Obama administration that was working with other neocons and the CIA and Victoria Nuland, who's also a part of the State Department and also a part of this current Biden administration that was literally pushing and pulling for this larger Ukrainian revolution that has led us to this current situation where we are in right now, where we have a full all-out proxy war between the East and the West in Ukraine. And this is just surface level stuff. This is just about like what we were able to find out. It gets a lot more sinister, a lot more deeper than that. As of course, the politicians are absolutely fucking sick and disgusting. Anything else you guys wanted to say? Because we got another Rumble rant that we could address here.
Yeah, give me one. Another reason why it's important. Not only was the Beau Biden, Joe Biden connection, but what do your listeners think of when federal agents go into a federal database? People need to understand, who don't understand what the NCIC system is. It's an FBI DOJ database. It is supposed to only contain information that is submitted to it by state divisions of criminal investigations after people are arrested, charged, convicted, and it's only supposed to contain arrest, charge, conviction, charge, date. How is it that Secret Service agents working for Barack Obama and Joe Biden, before Barack Obama's even elected, can access the FBI NCIC database and input in my history that I have convictions for human alien smuggling, that I have arrest and convictions for sexual misconduct, intimidation, threats, dealing in narcotics? None of these things have I ever been arrested for, have I ever been charged with, have I ever been convicted of.
Only one of them was true, though.
No, actually, even them, I hadn't been.
Okay. Oh, I just now remembered or thought of it, but Obama's name, Secret Service name, while he was in the presidency. It almost makes me puke to say that. But his code name was Renegade. And just, why would he pick a name like Renegade? Because they all pick their own names. But I think it's pretty damn clear why he did it. Because he's a renegade.
I said charged,
Okay.
arrested.
Okay.
I didn't say didn't happen.
I'm just trying to clarify.
But this is what I needed people to understand. And nobody wanted to listen.
Beautiful B is in the house. Beautiful B is here, y'all. Welcome, Beautiful B.
Beautiful V. But did she hit the like button?
That's a damn good question. B, did you hit the like button? Hit the like. It's free tonight, B. Darn, she's always about 2 or 3 hours late. Last night, for some unknown reason, V was here the whole show. But every other night, she's been, she gets here about 5 minutes before I close the shop. Darn her.
Imagine,
It's the weaponization of our justices.
Only thing I did was tell the truth about a freaking, 2 blowjob thrill ride.
Just a fun Wednesday.
I mean, and it really wasn't anything out of what you would consider out of the ordinary, even for Barack or anybody else in that time, especially in Chicago. But instead, you falsify official records. You take a person's disability. Dude, I have been sitting with nothing for the last 3 years because Biden finally managed to get my disability stopped, and it will not restart until I actually get an appeal hearing in Social Security before an administrative law judge. Here it is, 3 years. I'm still waiting for that hearing date.
Wow. So we got a $5 Rumble rant by Infernal Machine saying, ask Larry if he knows anything about Obama's Chicago church choir members. Do you know anything about Obama's
Do you mean about Donald Young?
I think that's exactly what he's referring to, which we addressed multiple times. There's another.
What's up, Hawks? Good to see you, brother. Welcome to the show.
Aloha, Hawk, and Miguel, and Latina and Kelly, and Niels. I just shared the stream, so people are coming in.
Got you, bro. Thanks.
Question here by the Raven Watch saying, ask him about the dick.
Okay. I am Raven Watch.
Can I guess before you tell us? Because I've been theorizing this with my Tower Gang buddies.
Why are you spending time? First of all, before we get in there, Clay, what are you doing with the Tower Gang guys theorizing the wiener of Barack Obama?
You don't think about the president's dick?
Listen, no,
ever?
I do not. I want to ask a more scientific, more of a professional question, and is that is there anything you could corroborate? Did he have a mole? Did he have like a birthmark anywhere? Is there anything that we could collaborate? And then we could hear about Clint's fantasies and rants about his dick that he talks about with his Tower Gang guys all the time.
What I said, and people actually attacked me and said, "Oh,
hello again,
you're
Latina.
full of shit. He's this. He had to be." I describe what guys know what I'm talking about. Some women might not. You're either cut or you're uncut.
Sure.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think girls also know about that for the record.
Okay. In Barack's particular case, it is
both.
a situation to where it almost appears as if he's uncut because there's a little play, but not completely covered. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In other words, the skin doesn't.
Alien dick.
Should we hold on? Should we all tell each other the predictions? I say 5-incher.
That's
interesting.
Me.
Clint, we're gonna hear Clint.
My thesis has been it is lengthy but very narrow.
I say 5-incher. Stephanie?
I'm going to guess a shower, not a grower.
Well, he was in fact grown at that point. So was it impressive or no?
Well, he was, doing crack. How does crack affect your dick? I don't know.
I think based off of your mom's house, it's 4 to 5 strokes.
Clint, listen, you don't want to get personal
Okay,
here. Bro.
I need to.
I don't
ask-
know either.
Podcast, not your mom's house.
I guess I need to ask for clarification then. In terms of lengthy,
Yes.
what do you consider the baseline?
I would say average is 6.
Okay. I am going to do, and I know you guys are going to really get pissed at me for this.
Oh my god!
I am going to
Don't you dare not tell me this.
Clint has been waiting for this.
This is all I want to know.
Clint has
Okay.
been waiting for this answer for a very long time.
I am going to do what I did when this question was asked at the National Press Club on June 18th of 2008.
Larry, don't do this to me.
Have any of you heard the term black man with a white boy's dick?
I have now.
Yes.
For those of you who haven't, everybody assumes that a black man has this humongous, thick, long anaconda dong.
That is the racist stereotype. That is extremely discriminatory and extremely unfair.
You know what? It may be, but I'm just pointing out something that a lot of people.
Oh,
I don't
man.
give a shit who you are. If you sit there and tell me that you've never said that or thought that when you're referring to a black dick, then you're full of shit. Why do you think you
Yep.
say BBC?
Yep, you're a liar.
Big black
We all
cock.
think about it all the
Yeah.
time.
So what I said at the press club is a black man with a white boy's dick, meaning pretty close to what you were saying.
Good night, Chrissy.
6 and narrow.
Precious to you.
Pencil dick.
Pencil dick.
Yeah, there we go. That's,
nailed it.
There.
Obama, pencil, dick.
Hussein.
Obama. Hussein. Barack.
For his
Barack.
physique. For his
Pencil,
physique.
dick, Blobama. We're calling it.
This
I'm
is
tweeting
the
that.
greatest moment
Hold
in
on, not
podcast
yet.
history.
Oh, I'm tweeting this right now.
And I know people are listening to this and they're going, how can we take you seriously? I got news for you. I have answered just about every damn thing you people have ever asked, and it's still not enough. I mean,
Y'all don't forget, I did ask you, could you take the vulgarness? And everybody said, yeah. So don't blame me.
just look at your damn comments over the last
Yo.
24 hours on my Twitter feed.
I am so proud of you right now.
No matter what I say to some of you, you're never going to be satisfied. So
well, with the size of that dick, how am I supposed to be satisfied, Larry?
well, trust me, it wasn't necessarily a mouthful at times.
Oh, geez.
I'm sorry. You brought that.
I did it. It's
Yeah,
my fault. It's my fault.
Welcome to Dick Cast IRL, where the news that America deserves gets to.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, I just tweeted Barack pencil dick blow bomber, which again could explain why he's so politically motivated. Because if you're well endowed, you spend a lot of time focusing on women and you have a lot of success with them. But if you have something to prove, you have like a Napoleon complex, which could explain his political aspirations and motivations to try to aspire in other places and locations. Again, theorizing here, who knows?
I think the point you made earlier is the best one, that you can't.
I don't know if you heard me or not, Clay. Good to see you, brother. Steve, you want to say something?
Hey, aloha, Clay. Yeah, I'll be hanging out with Clay tomorrow.
Oh, wait.
Yep.
Y'all going to be singing or picking or both or what?
You know what? All I know is we set it up like 2 weeks ago, I think, and I don't remember, but I just know it's at 2:00 my time. I'm gonna be there.
Okay. 2 o'clock your time, be 7 o'clock here, I guess.
Yep. 7:00 your time. Yep. 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Yep.
Well, I'll try to give you guys a watch.
Rise to the highest levels of power in our government unless you have some level
Unless you suck someone's dick.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Well, you know what? Here's something you just remind me of. Come to think of it, right after that press conference, if you go back and do some research and look at some of the stories and some of the pictures.
I just
during the
remembered.
campaign,
Yeah, well, Clay reminded me.
interestingly enough, all of a sudden, certain media outlets, when they were doing the photographing of him on his campaign stops, all of a sudden you saw this emphasis on pictures that emphasized his crotch area
Interesting.
and imprints in his pants, almost as a.
Mayor, haven't you always been curious about it though?
But if that's not the way to wake up from a nap, right? You wake up and then you hear, what am I still sleeping? What the hell is going on?
You're having a nightmare.
As a means of trying to imply that what I said at the press conference is somehow
they were trying to disprove it. Okay.
Yeah, discredited by this picture. And I was like, are you guys really this sick? I mean, why not just tell the man to say yes or no, but to go to those extremes?
Has he ever addressed your claims? Ever?
Ask him. He's in Steve's chat, so you won't see him in mine. Steve's streaming my show here tonight too.
No, but I know that actually I haven't had a chance to even do this yet, but I need to check the Obama administration's presidential records at the National Archives. And the reason I need to is because
Travis wants to know what Big Mike is packing. Well, this guy might get around to telling you here before the night's over, Travis.
his birthday present in August of 2009 was a hand-signed copy of my book
That you sent him?
express mail to the White
No
House with a letter to Michelle enclosed. And if I am
You're such a gangster.
and if I am correct in the current situations with the former president, when it comes to the Presidential Records Act, I believe that copy of that book by law should be
Recorded.
in the Obama presidential records in the National Archives.
That's crazy. If that's true, that's crazy.
I'm just still shocked about the pencil dick comment.
Yeah.
Can we get that trending on Twitter right now? Hashtag pencil dick. I think that's the trend that needs to go out there to the general public more than anything else. And then if we get drone bombed right after this one, you'll know it was true.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. How about not hashtag help Larry pay for surgery?
We'll work on that next.
We'll work on that, especially because we're talking to our good friends at CPI, Scott Nelson and Ed Clay. They do awesome stuff. We're going to connect you and try to do our best to, of course, get you the proper help that you need. You're dealing with some injuries and all this other stuff. You're doing GoFundMe for your health. Some people are saying you shouldn't sell a book. I think you should sell a book. I think you should republish that book, get it out there to the general public. I don't think there's any shame behind it.
These people came at him and like ruined his life financially. So you kind of got to.
Oh, actually, like I said, people ask me why I moved back to Mexico. And I told you, I can scrape by and pay $250 a month to rent a place to live.
Right.
I can't scrape by and pay $1,500 a month.
Would you be willing? I mean, I know you already passed the polygraph years and years ago. Would you be open to doing it again?
Dude, I saw something on my Twitter last night where somebody, for me, it's kind of hard to keep up with the different comments and what they're tied to, because there's so many different people commenting on something and the subject. Oh, the old Twitter used to be better because if you hit a comment, it showed you the whole thread.
Right.
Now it doesn't. So I was confused. And I saw a comment.
What Fee said, when y'all, if anybody hadn't already subscribed to my, and I meant to pin that tonight and I forgot it. If y'all hadn't already subscribed to my Rumble channel, please do so. It's Dinkus70, DINCUS 70, or Ronnie York 8337. Both the same thing. I don't know how Rumble did it, but they did it.
Where somebody said, yeah, but he won't. So I dug deeper to see what the hell they were talking about. And then that's where I saw, oh, well, he just needs to take another polygraph. And I'm like, you idiots act like that's something I would be opposed to doing. Tell you what, put up the money. I'll contact Tremarco myself, which is the guy I tried to get originally. I don't have issues with that.
Larry
And
Sinclair's a gangster, folks. Put the money on the table. He'll take the test.
I don't
prove it.
Pay for the damn test. Pay for the travel to get there. I'll even live stream the son of a bitch myself. I have nothing to hide or fear.
This is gangster.
Yeah, Space
Thank you,
Jason
Wolverines.
commented a gainster. That you're a gangster. For doing what
Well,
you're doing.
people act like I'm supposed to be scared of taking a polygraph when I know damn well I'm going to pass it anyway, because I'm not going to tell anything but the truth, just like I did the last time.
I wouldn't be so afraid of Obama, particularly given what we now know he's packing. However, Michelle, you've seen those lats.
You have a controversial opinion on this, Larry, because a lot
Thank
of
you,
people in the
Wolverine, very
alternative
much.
sphere do believe that Michelle is really Michael, or Big Mike, as some people are calling him. I don't know. I haven't really delved into the research on that. The Tower Gang probably, has fetishized
we've
and
dug
thought
deep.
about that and looked at all the photos and zoomed in on them and then
Her back is like twice as big as Brock's.
did a bunch. See, I told you, I wasn't wrong. But what's your opinion on it from your perspective?
God, I've stayed away from this. I swear I have bent over in many different directions to stay away from this for so long.
You have so many stories about bending over here.
Hey, I used to be younger. Now I bend over and can't bend back. A few weeks back, I finally made a comment on this, and this is what I said. For me, there's so many things that are obvious and true and reasons for not liking Michelle Obama, thinking or actually knowing that she is a very racist, angry, vindictive, abusive female, power-strong and hungry, and will step on and walk over anybody that she needs to get what she wants. And those are very legitimate and real reasons not to particularly care for her or like her. And I think that's more than enough without,
Questioning her sexuality.
going for, there's no birth certificate. For those of you who still don't get this concept, your birth certificate is not a public record per se. In other words, I can't go to where you were born and ask for a copy of your birth certificate because I'm not you. It is a protected record. So, of course, you're not going to see a damn birth certificate for Michelle Robinson. I say she's a woman, maybe a manly woman, and maybe that's the reason Brock's with her.
Yeah.
But
That's
woman.
always been my assessment, honestly.
Yeah, but a woman.
I don't think she has a dick, even though those freeze frames are interesting.
Well, she might not have one, but there's plenty of places in D.C. and Chicago that sell, those that can be used and, rinsed off, washed off, and packed away.
Hey, a lot of people's hormones are completely out of whack, so it wouldn't surprise me, if the frogs are getting gay. There's a lot of other human beings that are, of course, dealing with a lot of testosterone, and Michelle just could be one of them. As of course, I want to pull up some articles here because I think they're worth talking about here. As there was a love letter that was surfaced from Barack Obama many years ago, where in the letter he explicitly tells his ex that he can't stop making love to men daily in his imagination. This sounds like something that has been confirmed by many different news organizations. The letters are public, and whether this is a spiteful ex or not, this is something that is now on the record. You add that to Joan Rivers, who came out publicly and said Barack Obama is gay. The first lady is a tranny. And this is what Joan Rivers said before she passed away. And when you have such egregious things kind of lurking there, when you have such kind of behavior becoming more and more evident. This leads to a lot of people saying, Larry, you are absolutely 100% correct.
Well, I mean, I know I'm 100% correct as far as what I've said, as far as what I know of him and what I've done with him. I am.
Why didn't he return the favor? He seems like a selfish lover.
He was on crack.
Well, some. No, okay. You brought this up. I have to go there.
Yeah, no, I want to know.
Okay, just so and actually, it's a good thing because someone actually asked the question on my Twitter feed earlier. Is he the pitcher or the catcher? I'm a straight bottom bitch. Okay, I'm a hoe. In other words, in other words, if you and I hook up.
Man.
And you tell me, okay, you roll over and tell me it's your turn. I got news for you. If you're at my house, you're getting your ass up and you're going straight out that door.
All right. So, but you didn't actually have sex, right? You just blew him.
Well, what do you call that?
Whoa.
For him, it was good.
Okay.
I mean, if it's Bill Clinton, it's something completely different.
Right.
It's nothing. It's no extramarital affairs.
I never had sex with that woman. All right. I never had relations.
Hello, Robin. Hello, Mike Jones.
So yeah. On that note,
this is one of the greatest days of my life.
I'm waiting for a question from her.
I know, Steph. Stop talking so much. Here, we're gonna give the mic to Steph because Steph's. You haven't said much. No, your mic doesn't work. I'm gonna just flip over, and you're not pressing the buttons. You're supposed to be pressing the buttons.
I'm pressing the button.
Now you're pressing the buttons. I want to pass you the mic so you could have more of a conversation with Larry. Click the button.
All right. Mic check 1 2.
You're good. Go.
Well, no, this is really interesting. I haven't chimed in much because I haven't had
Miss
a mic.
D. Hello,
I just
Miss
think
D.
it's pretty crazy. Just being able to think about this and then think about all the different political people and what they would actually be doing.
You hear her.
To have a conversation like this is quite important because these are things that are not talked about. These are behind the curtain. These are things that are always behind the scenes, but no one really thinks about it. And now coming out with a lot of the child molestations, things like this. I think it's really something that is not want to be talked about. And I think that we should definitely start a conversation on just being able to talk freely about, even if it is a little risque, just what's going on, what has happened, and be truthful and honest about it.
The character of these people matters, particularly when it's hidden and it's lied about, and then now that they're weaponizing the justice system,
well, look who
particularly
is here.
against Donald Trump, but to
Monty,
my
what's
more
up,
important, or to my focus, which is more important, is the J6ers. What they're doing to those people, weaponizing the DOJ against them, is really horrific. So I just feel like it's our turn to kind of put a little heat back on them.
The corporate media blows Obama every single fucking day. They kiss his ass. They essentially do his bidding. They do his PR for him. So finally, someone comes out and says, no, that motherfucker's probably crazy. That motherfucker's doing drugs, getting his
Good to see you again, Monty. Hope you're doing all right.
dick suck, smoking crack. Probably with the way that they've been fucking acting and the way our political system works, it's all bread and circuses. And the more clean a politician looks like, the more evil and nefarious they probably are. As of course, all of what they present to you is all a facade. It's all fake. It's all made up. It's all paid for by some of the biggest marketing firms in the fucking world that literally make sure that the tie is a particular color to evoke a particular emotion. These people are master manipulators, and to get into one of the biggest offices, one of the most powerful positions in the world, you got to do some fucked up crazy shit. And Barack Obama coming out of nowhere and doing it probably did it with some really fucked up crazy shit that there's probably a lot of videos of. This is why Jeffrey Epstein's island existed, where literally there were videos, photos of politicians, many powerful people doing horrible things to small children that the FBI confiscated and magically lost and fumbled, which is absolutely freaking crazy. We got a Rumble rant by Rafael Soulfire, who says, thanks for the stream. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for Rumble for hosting us. Thanks for sharing this broadcast. We're not done here. We still got a lot of other things to talk about. As of course, Larry, I want to ask you, you had a very illustrious life. You had a very crazy life. I just kind of wanted to ask you, unless you guys want to continue on with the conversation, Clint, But I had one particular question about what was one of the craziest things you have ever done?
Craziest things I've ever done.
He blew a president twice. Do we have to?
Well, technically he
Is there
wasn't.
anything crazy?
Well, technically he wasn't president then. You know,
Do you think it would have been better if he was?
no, actually, I probably wouldn't have done it then. Only because of past experiences with politicians in other countries. What can I say?
This guy.
Craziest things. I would say probably a lot of people would think that maybe the craziest thing I've ever done is making $600,000 a month and giving it all away.
No, that sounds
every time.
That sounds pretty crazy. What did you give it
Oh,
away
shit.
to, if you don't mind us asking?
Neighbors, people. It's interesting. I never used a penny of the money made doing that to buy anything for me, to pay any bills for me. I had a neighbor at the time whose daughter was experiencing vehicle problems and spent money and bought her a new car.
He's the Robin Hood of cocaine dealers.
Well, you know, for
Yeah, Monty, you could say that. He is Barack Obama's Monica Lewinsky, I guess. Except Barack Obama wasn't the president at the time when he was doing his business with Barack. You know what I mean?
everything everybody has said about me, I don't know how much you know. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but I know Tracy and Gigi. I've spent the last 6 years before leaving Florida for Mexico, actually rebuilding a neighborhood in Cocoa, Florida out of my own pocket. And I have nothing, but I managed to bring it together.
Wow.
I built 2 new houses in the neighborhood for families as owners. I put 23 families in houses in that neighborhood as owners, not renters.
Awesome.
And their mortgage payments were less than $700 a month.
You are giving in all ways, Larry.
You know, and I did that because
Exactly,
I just
Robin.
needed something to do. And, you know, people, I don't, it's just like when I asked for help recently. I don't ask for help. I don't know how. I don't know how to accept it.
I think you're right, Monty.
A year ago, I wasn't even in a house. A year ago, I was actually sleeping in my car in Mexico. But I guess that would be one of the craziest things. Or maybe the fact that I moved to a neighborhood in Cocoa and did things that the city itself could not seem to do in 30 years.
No, that's awesome.
I just tweeted this right now. I tweeted Larry Sinclair is a giver.
That's
button
true.
Pusher, where's the button pusher?
Oh, but
You're not
I
button
wouldn't.
pushing. Button pusher. Yeah, button pusher. Button pusher. If you want to ask questions, just let me know, and I will pass over the microphone. Again, the microphone worked for like an hour and a half, but then the battery died out. We're gonna get a new mic sent to us, and we will make sure that you will be more a part of the conversation. But again, anytime, button pusher, feel free to just tell me you want to ask a question, and then we could ask a question.
I have a question for your viewers or listeners.
Yep. Go right ahead.
I know you said that you had a poll up on YouTube.
Yes.
All right. I want to know what your viewers or listeners on Rumble think. And be brutally honest, because I'm telling you, after tonight, I'm done. I don't really care what anybody thinks or says. You know,
I love it. Just come in, blast a home run, and walk off.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very frank, honest conversation. Nothing really was kind of planned here. We're kind of just spitballing here, going off the top of our head. But I don't think
he
there's
hasn't ducked anything.
Yeah, he hasn't. He never gave a political answer. You're not a politician, which we absolutely appreciate, and you're very frank and you're very honest, according to my own personal opinion and the way that I could read people. I think you've been personally telling the truth from the very beginning. I think your story is absolutely incredible. I think it is worth sharing. I think it is worth reading in a book. I want to read the full story. You have to republish your book. When you do, we will get it out there to the general public. We don't have a chat
it's
poll
also
feature
available
on
on
Rumble.
Kindle.
Okay, yeah, let us know, and then we'll get it out there to everybody, because I want to make sure. I probably still have the copy in New York City with some of my family members there, because I don't destroy books at all. So I probably still have your copy, a limited edition, real one that I'm gonna now cherish and probably put behind me on the wall here. But we don't have a poll option here on Rumble, but you could type in 1 if you believe that Larry is telling the truth, 2 if you believe he is not telling the truth, in the comments section right now, and then we will see from that the overall basis of what.
How the hell could you not believe?
Or you can just type in the comment, he's a lying piece of shit. Or I mean, trust me, you wouldn't be saying anything I haven't already read over the last 24 hours.
I would imagine.
Or the last 15 years at this point.
I think a lot of people will want to know, like, are you some huge Trump supporter? Are you just out for vengeance against the Democrats?
Interestingly enough, and who in the hell is this Brian Krasen on
Krasenstein?
Who in the hell?
The guy I was referencing earlier.
Okay, who in the hell is this complete?
Be right back, Steve. Guys, I got to go take a little voice break.
All right,
freaking moron? Do you?
There's 2 of them. There's 2. They multiplied.
Yeah,
they're like gremlins.
I am like, to imply that anything in my tweets or X's or whatever the hell you want to call them are related to defending of Donald Trump, or these idiots that are doing the same shit that they were complaining and bitching about the left doing to them. Now they're doing it to other quote unquote conservatives. Who gives a shit what your politics are or who you support? What matters is how you conduct yourself and how you represent the person you support. And nobody's helping Donald Trump when you're out there accusing everybody of being this or that and attacking and threatening. All you're doing is you're pulling another OBOT. You're pulling another Barack Obama 2008 routine.
Yeah. So if Brian Krasenstein and Ed Krasenstein were listening to you right now, what would be your own personal message to them? And by the way, these are individuals that we're going to invite here on this podcast that we're going to be probably debating and having a civil conversation with. What is your message to them?
Maybe before you just start randomly republishing shit because you found it on the internet, or you choose to believe something that somebody wrote that fits your narrative, how dare you post stuff on any social media and call me a liar or a scumbag or something? You've never spoken to me. You've never even bothered to ask me on Twitter or X a simple question. Instead, you publish shit, you repost shit that I've provided you documented evidence is nothing but BS to begin with. And you do it like you're a journalist. And to see people actually have that title in their profile, journalist, investigative journalist.
They say that?
News report.
That's ridiculous.
I'm like, if you're a journalist, you don't just simply republish. I was just showing.
Ed Krasenstein has political journalist in his X bio,
God,
and
or
Brian
political
has
opinion
journalist.
writer.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, journalist.
Just so you know,
journalist, which is crazy.
Myself and Dave Smith debated the Krasenstein brothers on a Twitter Spaces with Josie about a month ago. These guys are the most duplicitous, lying motherfuckers I've ever encountered. So I'm not surprised that they would drag you.
I was just like, but I don't understand why you. If you don't believe somebody, you can say you don't believe them. If there's something that you need to know, for clarification, ask.
They're political operatives. They're not going to do that for you.
Yeah, but as far as I'm concerned, Trump, you know what? I'm going to tell you God's honest truth. Trump's going to be convicted of something.
I think so too.
Okay. Yeah. And people need to understand that if you want to give Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and Barack Obama, if you want to give Barack Obama a 4th term, keep pushing. Excuse me. Keep pushing that you will accept no other nominee on the GOP ticket other than Trump. And I guarantee you that the next 24 years, and I'm saying 24, the next 24 years will be dominated by far left liberal rule from the White House, the Senate, and the House.
And I'm going to say he's totally full of shit, but in many
Well,
ways.
if it was dominated by far left for 24 years, we wouldn't survive 24 years.
Yeah, we'll be lucky if we can survive 4 years of the one.
Right.
It's in there now. 24, give me a freaking break. They would have all of the population wiped out by then, sure enough. It wouldn't take them that long. But it's just, his opinion, so right on.
And you will not be able to do a damn thing about it.
Larry is forever the optimist. We will be in World War III next year, folks. Don't even worry about it.
And just to be clear, the Krasensteins always have access to us in this podcast and to rebuttal anytime they want. And I think it will be interesting to have more of these conversations from people who we disagree with or we think aren't, And again, I think a lot of people, shit post online and they don't realize that there's actual human beings behind the shit posting that they're affecting, that other people are reading. And I think that the Krasensteins should try to understand that their tweets have a lot of impact.
For sure.
When they just kind of loosely tweet stuff, it does affect people, and there should be more due diligence when it comes to some of the shit posting.
And they're making tens of thousands of dollars a month off X. So
because they trigger a lot of people, and people are triggered, and they start responding like, "How can you have this take?"
Yep.
And it's a business. It's a brilliant business strategy.
I'm not knocking the hustle,
Well,
and they're nice enough guys. I just think that they're political actors. That's all.
Well, it goes back to something I got a message. I don't know. Yeah, you're old enough to remember. Maybe you were still in pull-ups when it happened. But do you remember the Occupy movement?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I got to meet quite a few of them working with a friend of mine. Actually, the same year I gave him a signed copy of the book. In fact, the same month we did Liberty Fest 3 in New York. Doing an off-Broadway debate, Occupy versus Tea Party.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Well, we did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And Edward Hall, which was one of the Occupy participants, tall, skinny, redheadish kid. He actually sent me
stay with the mic.
He actually sent me a message of support today, and I really appreciated it. And what I found even more rewarding with getting it is I had just mentioned
George
recently.
Welcome, brother. Good to
as
see
an
you.
example to people that the Tea Party and Occupy were probably polar opposites politically when
Jorge
they came out
or George.
and were
They perceived each other to be enemies.
or both.
right.
I think they
And
both work.
that night brought the likes of David Webb, Pam Geller, Tracy Diaz, actually.
Yeah, I know her.
Tracy sat on the panel on the Tea Party side. And then, of course, we had the David Wiedes and the T. Edward Hall, all of the primary Occupy representatives. And interestingly enough, the debates were very spirited. They were, respectful. And after the debate actually ended, we all left and went to a bar down the street. And we ended up spending the entire night drinking and talking and engaged with each other.
Love it.
And it wasn't about, oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, how dare. I mean, literally discussing and having conversations and expressing different points of views in a pleasant, enjoyable, friend. And I wanted people to understand you can still do that today, but you're not going to do it if everything that you let come out of your mouth is going to be something that's going to attack someone or make them feel uncomfortable from the jump.
I've been a big time involved in politics over the past 3 years, and I went and I did an End the War in Ukraine rally earlier this year, actually, and I was marching alongside socialists and communists, and I'm a hardcore libertarian.
Right.
But I had some of the best, most passionate conversations and debates with these people, and it really, I think it's important that we kind of like we speak to these people, because oftentimes like Tea Party and Occupy, they really were identifying a lot of the same problems. They really were. So I hope more people are having conversations.
I was on the ground for both of those movements. The Tea Party originally started with a lot of very prominent libertarians, anarchists, being like, "Hey, enough is enough of this bullcrap. We need to stand up against the larger inequalities that are happening in our economic sector." Occupy Wall Street came out and said the same exact thing.
Exactly.
But the Tea Party was kind of hijacked by the Glenn Becks, the Sarah Palins, that took it away from individuals like Ron Paul and other kind of more liberty-minded individuals. Occupy Wall Street was also originally, when I was there on day one, it was filled with a lot of people from the left, a lot of people on the right, a lot of people were flying a lot of American flags, a lot of people were talking about the Federal Reserve. There was daily marches. People forget about this. There was daily marches to the U.S. Federal Reserve every single day.
Well, thank you to Landon and Tiff. Appreciate that, both you guys.
From Occupy Wall Street, there was a grassroots patriots movement that was very visible during Occupy Wall Street, and then, just like the Tea Party got co-opted, the Occupy Wall Street got co-opted by a lot of leftists, by a lot of communists. That this is where I met Tim Pool. Me and Tim Pool went to some of the organizational meetings of Occupy Wall Street, and we were there when they were like, "Yeah, guys, we should reenact the Communist Manifesto and then support all these things to call for communism." And me and Tim were looking at each other. No one knew who Tim was still at the time. We were like, "This is stupid. This is dumb. What the fuck are you guys doing? Fuck communism." And then Tim's like, "Yeah, that guy. Fuck communism." I'm like, "Oh, who are you?" And then that's how I got to know Timmy.
No kidding.
At these meetings, at these organizational meetings, because we were calling out the fucking commies at Occupy Wall Street from all this bullshit.
I got to clarify something. You guys are marching every day
to the Federal Reserve,
yeah. and you're referencing the communists, which the fifth plank is a central bank.
Exactly.
How the fuck did they not figure this out?
Well, there was organizational committees and these little fucking spokespersons and little organizational meetings that happened outside of Occupy Wall Street, to the point where literally this was one of the most fascinating things that I learned at Occupy Wall Street. Eventually, the society that started was exactly the one that was outside of Occupy Wall Street. You had a downtown, you had an uptown, you had a ghetto, you had an elitist class with a library. And it was fascinating to see this larger kind of movement just change to what we normally deal with in fucking society. As of course, you had the uber white fucking liberals calling the shots, dictating shit, calling for fucking communism, and really poor ghetto people living down in the South over there that were grossly mistreated. And there was conflicts. There was a class war within a class war of Occupy Wall Street that was fucking crazy. It was fucking insane to be a part
Malcolm
of.
X was right.
But, you know, a lot of those liberty-minded individuals,
I wonder if this guy actually knows how to say the F word. You think, Steve? Or you think he needs practice?
Might need practice.
He's doing a pretty darn good job of not practicing on me.
The people flying the American flags, they were just slowly pushed away, just like the original OG founders of the Tea Party that were originally pushed away. And then we moved from ideas of decentralization, we moved from ideas of liberty towards centralization, towards more government, which means more fucking pain and bullshit against everyone else. So fuck that bullshit. Me and Tim were pissed off. That's how we became friends, when we saw the kind of changing of the guard at Occupy Wall Street. And I really do believe a lot of the gender stuff was started and made more prominent after Occupy Wall Street, because they were fucking scared at what the beginning of Occupy Wall Street actually looked like.
Absolutely.
I have a question. Actually, I already asked him. When you talk to Tim, tell him I said to look at his messenger messages.
Got it. On Facebook?
Yeah, because I sent him a message because I have a funny feeling. The last name's Poole, right?
Poole,
Yep.
yes.
I have a funny feeling I've met him before.
Probably, because me and him were always
Paul?
hanging out. Yeah. He was around. Wait, was that before or after Occupy Wall Street?
Was it in 1999?
Right around
in
the
limousine?
same time.
Okay.
Yeah, and the only reason, interesting, because believe it or not, the most organized group that actually not so much as came out against me as much as just said, "Shut the fuck up, we don't want to hear it," kind of thing, was the Ron Paul.
Oh, interesting.
Believe it or not.
Those are my people. Why would they do that?
No. It was only, and then I found out later it was because apparently, I don't know if it was the Obama Democrats or if it was the McCain Republicans, but somebody kept trying to push me and claim that I was part of the Ron Paul.
Oh, use the mic. You could just move it as well.
That I was part of the Ron Paul thing.
So they rejected you to prove that you weren't one of them.
Well, some of them did, and interestingly enough,
this was when Ron Paul was running for the U.S. presidency as well, and his campaign staff. There was a lot of beef between even me and Ron Paul's campaign staff and a lot of other grassroots activists that were kind of pushed out by the Ron Paul campaign, which we were actively fighting. And then it came out that there was a huge corruption scandal within the Ron Paul campaign that we were calling out from the very beginning. So fucking hell, that was fucking crazy ass shit too that I had to fucking deal with. People, I'm apolitical. I never even endorsed Ron Paul. Partly because of the bullshit that was happening within his organization that I was calling out, but also just because I don't want to support any politician. I think,
surely to goodness we got one more like in here somewhere to get us to 50. Come on, guys, hit one person, just one. I know.
I've been waiting on that too. I kept looking and I'm like, where not? I was waiting for 50, and then I was going to interrupt and be like, all right, we hit 50.
We got to sooner or later, Steve. We got to. Come on, guys, hit the like button. Get us over 50. I know y'all can do it.
The answer is going to be with individuals from the grassroots, decentralizing, being personally responsible for each other. That's the solution. Voting with your dollar, supporting your local farm. That's how we solve all this fucking bullshit with your actions every single day. Larry, you have something to say?
I was going to say, and I'm people have tried to say that I am a Trump Republican or that I'm a Clinton. I have never been either one. I am an independent. I do not align with any party, never have, never will. I will make my decisions based on individuals and policy. Always have, always will. I actually learned quite a bit covering the Paul and the Paul Fest and getting to know, listening to Mike Salvi. Believe it or not, I think I made that poor Italian kid blush from Philly.
53.
I'm gonna spill some tea here. Let me spill a little bit of tea here because before the campaign,
Ronnie.
I was interviewing Ron and Rand. I was interviewing them. They were talking about Bilderberg. They were talking about 9/11. They were talking about
55.
investigating 9/11. We were doing interviews, which you could still see on youtube.com/wearechange. Good luck if you can find it. Maybe you will. But look up We Are Change, Ron Paul. We Are Change, Rand Paul. We had multiple interviews. And then his campaign staff got involved. And they're like, you're not fucking interviewing him. He's running for the presidency of the United States. We were literally talking to each other. Every time we saw each other, we were literally interviewing each other. We were literally like the besties on camera. But then the campaign started, and then they were like, get the fuck out of here, kid. We don't want to be associated with you. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they didn't just do this to me. They did this to a lot of other grassroots supporters that were kind of standing by there being like, really? Like, this is the path that you want to take? And the individuals calling the shots were fucking indicted. They were indicted.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What for? Do you remember?
I forgot his name. What was it? Benton? I forgot his. This was so many years ago.
That sounds right.
This was the part of the Ron Paul Revolution years as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his name was Benton as well. So a lot of fucked up shit politically has been happening here. And one of the reasons, again, politics won't save you. Your own individual choices, you being personally responsible, you taking care of your health, you not needing the doctor, not needing to go to the hospital, not needing big pharma is the answer, is the solution that I think we should all be striving for, personally myself. Larry, what's your solution? Is there a solution? Because we're facing a lot of problems. We're facing a lot of fucked up scenarios and situations. You've been in it for a very long time. So I would be curious to see your perspective.
Well, let me put it this way. I moved into a neighborhood in Cocoa that was 90% African American. And my allegations against Obama were thrown out to try to make me some kind of pariah with my neighbors. It didn't work. I will tell you that I learned something from the people in that neighborhood when I finally got people together and said, look, we can rebuild this ourselves. And that is that people judge people based on the individual and the interaction with them. You can turn around and listen to these groups and these so-called political leaders and repeat their mantra, or you can get off your ass and actually go knock on your neighbor's door and invite them for coffee, or sit out on the porch or in the backyard and have a damn barbecue and just get to know each other and just start talking. And you'd be surprised how much better off we are.
For sure.
You'd be surprised how much more we have in common. I think you'd be surprised at just.
Well, I just wonder what would have happened if this kind of stuff had came out on Trump after he became president. Well, I remember this came out after Obama was president. So what would have happened if this kind of crap would have came out on Trump? Oh man, I'm telling you what, that would have been one more hellaciously big story.
Oh hell yeah, easily.
And this ain't the only guy, the way I remember it, that had this same kind of story to tell. I think there was another one. It sure seemed like there was. I could be wrong, but I think there was another one. But I
There's
guess
probably more than just another. There's probably a shit ton more.
oh yeah, if they'd all come out and tell their stories, you ain't kidding. But I think that one other guy did have the guts to come out and tell it. But like I said, I could be wrong. So there ain't that much more of it left. So finish this sucker up.
How much easier it is to resolve issues that affect us directly and immediately than relying on any freaking politician or party for anything.
Good message.
Your video so far, 4.4 million views on Tucker Carlson's Twitter account.
How many?
4.4 million right now that we're seeing.
That's in a few hours. It's going to go much, much higher.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brian Krasenstein, of course, was the first person to respond to it.
and I'm sure he said
and
it.
Elon Musk responded back to it.
Well, are you serious there? Did one of them get run over a few years back? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, God.
So there's an interesting conversation happening right now between Elon Musk and Brian Krasenstein. So under the Tucker Carlson video, Brian Krasenstein said this, quote, "This story was litigated in court of public opinion in 2008. Larry Sinclair failed to pass a polygraph test. He proved that he was dishonest and a fraud over 27 years span where he was convicted of multiple felonies involved in his lack of honesty." He goes on, why are we retaliating it, litigating it now when it doesn't matter one bit? Is Tucker or X or tabloid on X? Which Elon Musk actually responded to, officially saying, of course, the probability that his claims are true would have to rest on objective evidence rather than claims made by someone with a dubious history. He also responded saying, cue domino meme from Jack Ryan at a Paris sex club to alleged Obama's drug-fueled gay orgy. Is that really Elon Musk? Is that really him? Yes, it is. It is.
Why is
he saying that? What the fuck? That's really Elon Musk. Yes. Yes.
Well, you know,
Q domino meme. What the Q in the domino meme. Got it.
Can we go back to Krasenstein?
Yeah. Dunk on him more, Larry.
No, because what this is what I'm saying. What Luke just read is the freaking Ben Smith crap from Politico.
Right.
June 18th, 2008. This guy hasn't looked up anything. He couldn't tell you what my criminal
he doesn't know
history
anything
is.
about you, man.
He couldn't tell you a damn thing about me because he's too busy republishing bullshit that he pulled off of. I showed you, Clint, while we were sitting here. I make a response on my own Twitter feed to people, and I'm getting community notes with freaking links to Ben Smith's Politico article trying to counter my statement.
Right.
I'm the son of a bitch that's lived it. How the hell does community notes challenge my life, my actions?
That's crazy.
So how do you really feel?
I thought
I promise you this, Larry. I will go to war with the Krasensteins when I get home on Twitter.
Well,
for you.
I mean,
I got your back.
Trust me, when I get home, I don't give a damn about them.
No, of course.
Because
and you shouldn't.
Yeah, because like I said earlier today, you know, I did this with Tucker because I agreed and not because I was looking for attention. Trust me, I can get all the attention I want without having to go on Tucker. You just don't know me very well if you think I need to go on Tucker to get attention. I did this with Tucker because there was an interest expressed, and I thought that it was proper to grant that interest. And when Luke spoke to me, I also thought that coming and sitting down with you guys would be the perfect addition, or should I say,
Addendum.
whipped topping on the dessert, so to speak.
Well, I think
finish it off,
right.
And allow us to do what we could not do on Tucker, considering time restraints or
editing
other,
or whatever.
or other issues. And I think Tucker's interview was a great introduction and prelude to getting this kicked off. And, people were given more than ample notice that we were going to do this tonight, and that they were welcome to participate and ask and engage. But I'm not going to sit here and respond to everybody repeating the same bullshit. But this is an example of what I'm saying. It does not matter. I could give these people the freaking limo driver on a silver platter, and it still wouldn't satisfy them.
Of course.
Yep. When we ask the chat here on Rumble, rumble.com/wearechange, do you believe that Larry is telling the truth? Number 1 for yes, number 2 for no. Overwhelmingly, all number 1s. I'm not seeing any number 2s right now. I'm seeing a lot of 69s. I'm seeing a 1.5, but I'm scrolling through the entire chat right now. I am not seeing one single 2. Wait, I'm seeing 1 by Margot 365, but that's 1 out of overwhelmingly 1s in the chat right now, which we're going to do again. If you believe,
you know who this dude right there looks like? To me, it looks like Bill Maher. Mayor, however you say his damn name.
A little bit, yeah. But you know what? Real quick, I'm just gonna let everyone know in my chat. I pinned the link for Ronnie's channel because I've been on for 1 hour, so I'm gonna end my side. Everyone go to Ronnie's because I'm just gonna end my side. So then that way we can all be in the same chat, and I'll be in the same channel. So.
Wonderful idea, Steve. Wonderful. But he does, man. That dude looks like Bill Maher to me. And
before you said that, I kept looking at him, going, "Man, I got reminded." But now that you said that, yeah.
Yeah, well, Bill Maher's daddy was the Playboy dude. What was his damn name? Crap, I know his name. I can't think of it now. Oh shit! But anyway, the Playboy Mansion guy. Run around his house coat all the time.
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner, there you go. That was his Bill Maher's daddy. And they're all evil as Satan ever was. Try to finish this sucker up.
Larry is telling the truth. Press 1 in the chat. If you
I'm getting wondering if it's ever going to end.
Believe he is not telling the truth, press number 2.
And
let the people speak overwhelmingly. You also got to understand, people overwhelmingly, when they have something to say, if it's something negative, they say it overwhelmingly. Comparatively to when they have something nice to say, they usually don't say it at all.
But and Margot is completely entitled to feel that way, and I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is people who say I don't believe it, but instead of just I don't believe it, they have to do what this guy's doing, which is constantly put out bullshit that they couldn't back up.
Right.
I mean, I asked him the first time he posted that crap. I said, "Well, you show me 27 years of criminal history. Just show me 27 years."
Let me.
I got the chat room pulled up right now, and you can see just 1 by a lot of individuals. We go up back here. We have 1, 2. And then the rest is, let me keep going up here. We did just total 1s, just a lot of 1s right there.
Let me say something real quick.
And I don't know about you, Clint, but I think
he's telling the truth.
I think he's telling the truth.
But let me explain why for the audience's sake. Because 1,
I have asked him everything that has come to my mind. He has not backed down. He has not deflected. He has not ducked or dodged.